as 5:29.
It's time.
It's time.
It's Thursday.
It's time.
Thursday.
Have a bottle opener, Luke.
How's everyone's week?
Have some hand sanitizer, Ross.
Yeah.
Eva, do you want to get in there?
Hanny Sanny. Yes.
Some handy sunny for us all.
Ooh.
Oh, Ha, that's a lot.
Yeah, we've now got to a point where we are reminding each other to put on hand sanitizer, not just because we want to be sterile and clean, but we literally have so much hand sanitizer in the shop
We
that
just need to use it up.
we have to try and use it up. Because, like,
And then you have to dry it.
Which,
Like,
given that we spent 2.5 months buying it from people out the back of their vans.
the fact that,
dodgy
yeah.
deals.
Anyway, we're excited. We're
Oh
here,
well, one day we'll all look back at this and with amusement.
and whoever owns the hand sanitizer company is probably having a great time.
Well,
let's
but
move on.
everybody owns a hand sanitizer company at the moment, don't they? Like every second gin or whiskey company we've ever met is making hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Stay on target. Oh, just how many people have got online?
Well, Liz.
We got Liz is here.
Beautiful. Well, what are we doing this week?
Coffee liqueur.
Am I waiting for more people? Hello.
Yeah.
Ross is waiting for people because he's, greedy for attention.
I'm insecure. That's
But
right.
for those people who are on and are watching us do absolutely nothing, we're doing coffee liqueurs this week. And there was much debate about this because we've kind of been sticking to spirits and wines. But we thought we'd do something a bit different, something exciting.
Well, we've got
Different is what we do.
We're different.
So yeah, coffee liqueurs and spirits, we should say.
Yeah.
Well, this is a good question for everything. I mean, because we do wine tasting and we do whiskey tasting, we do gin tasting, we have all the words for that. That we have the language of it. So liqueurs like
Coffee stuff.
coffee stuff. Like with me, liqueurs is like either you put it in a cocktail, or you shove it nice and you're drinking it when you're already ready to go to bed or something. Like it's.
See, I disagree. I often love to sit down and have a little tipple of liqueur before I'm,
Happy.
absolutely wasted.
There was a quick mention from Liz that she and her cat are watching.
Oh,
I don't know if
cat.
you wanted to mention the cat.
Oh no, we do have to mention the cat. Last week's award we decided to give to Liz and her cat because she had some wonderful photos of a cat sampling the gin. The first photo of the cat was sort of looking at the gin, and then the next thing it's got its paw in the gin, and the last one it's actually licking the gin off a paw,
In the paw.
which I thought was hilarious. We all loved it. They're fabulous photos.
So-
Thank you,
so
Liz.
Check them out on Facebook. They're very cute.
Yes, you've done very well.
Very entertaining.
And we've also got Mike, hello, we've got Polly, and we've got Christine, hello.
Beautiful.
Christine.
This is
Christine did
great.
photos last week too.
Yeah.
We're going to show you a photo today because that was really good.
Yeah, we were super impressed with Christine's photo today.
Yeah,
so you
and
guys
Jen's
are probably
as well. Jen and Christine are just...
Jen and Christine are just killing the game.
Having a sort of a thing.
If you feel like you want to join in, feel free to take a photo and post it or tag us or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still really liking Liz's cat. Liz's cat's a winner.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
it was old Tom. That's the real reason.
Well, yeah, it's on.
Now, this week for coffee liqueurs, we, as per the wines and the spirits, we start off with something that's available, that's sort of baseline. And someone said, oh, so we're going to do Kahlua. And we all agreed that we actually didn't need to taste Kahlua. Like, I think I've had enough Kahlua in my life to keep my body standing up, right?
And you know what it tastes like.
And yeah, I know what it tastes like, and so do many people. So, wouldn't really be much of a tasting, it would be a bit more of a drinking sort of situation. So instead, we've moved on to
Mr. Black.
which is an Australian product, which, it's always good to have Australian stuff.
Yep. And it's big for a number of reasons. First of all, first came to my attention because it was a big buzz in the industry because it was crowd-funded. So it was one of the first crowd-funded things when, before crowdfunding was trendy, it was like, ooh, what's crowdfunding? Oh, they're crowdfunding. Ooh.
Particularly in the spirits
So we
industry
all had
as
to
well.
get into what that was all about. And the next thing it was that's cold drip coffee used, not just a normal
hot press.
So again, very trendy.
Salt
Cold
drip.
drip. Woohoo! But it turns out the way they do it, because it's cold drip, it's actually got 10 times more caffeine than Kahlua.
And half as much sugar.
And half as much sugar. So the first thing I noted about it was it was really good, really nice coffee flavour about it, and not as sweet and silly.
No.
Here, Luke, pouring away.
Did you want to tell us a bit about the history of coffee liqueurs, Luke? Because you were finding out all this information. I was doing other things. So
most weeks we sort of have a situation in which we do a bit of research and share what we know about the origins of, say, the grape or the spirit.
And then we forget to tell you half of it.
Or it just doesn't always fit into half an hour because there's a lot to be said about lots of different weird stuff.
And also, like, sometimes because you look at me and say your head's full of nonsense anyway, so who want to know?
Who'd know the truth from the mysterious? So I was doing some research into coffee liqueurs, and coffee liqueurs are really interesting in that there's very little conversation about where they actually began. Some people say that it really originated with people just putting booze in their coffee. Other people say that it was a medicinal thing because coffee was given as medicine as well as certain alcohols, and so that it was a tincture, and no one really knows. But and there was a conversation about who was the first person to start sort of coffee liqueurs, and I thought it must have been Kahlua because that's the person we all know. It turns out it's been predated by Tia Maria. And Tia Maria is one of the first recipes of coffee liqueur, and predates commercial sale as it was made by a woman in Jamaica, and who had to fled Jamaica during the war, and fled Jamaica during the war with her maid and her family. And the maid was in charge of carrying a box that had the family heirloom earrings and the family secret recipe. Ooh. And so this woman named the liqueur after the maid, who was called Tia Maria. So it's not actually the name of the original creator, but her maid who saved the recipe.
Why don't you use Tia Maria in an espresso martini instead of Kahlua? How did we get to that point?
I think because Kahlua is slightly cheaper and slightly sweeter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because they had a lot of branding.
We've got Jax joining in, I believe from Westwood's Grey. We've got Jen, Nicola. We've got Emma and Luke from Tassie. Hello.
Woohoo.
And we've got Jed. Jax said she was in on the crowdfunding.
Oh, good on you.
Yeah, Mr. Black.
Good on you.
Thank you. And Polly said, so I'm not sleeping tonight then after Mr. Black.
Yeah, we all might be a little bit wet tonight.
Yeah, a lot of people agree. They're like, yep, nobody's going to be sleeping.
What I do also like about Mr. Black's is you can tell there's real coffee in it. It's not just dark because it's got coffee colour or sugar or whatever. It's actually murky because it's actual real coffee.
Now we're tasting this with ice. Would you normally taste the liqueur with ice?
I would. I always would. You can drink liqueurs straight. The only problem is because of the sugars, they can be quite sticky and it can be quite difficult to get all the different flavours on the palate.
Okay.
Now, look, this might be just me, and I'm opening this to everybody out there. As I remember Mr. Black, it wasn't as sweet as this when it first came out. I think this seems to be a bit sweeter than...
Well, do we want to talk about what we're smelling and all that stuff first?
I'm going to disagree with you, Ross, so let's get into proper tasting.
Okay.
Let's not jump ahead.
First of all,
jump ahead to Luke
I
disagreeing
think
with Ross.
something's going to be interesting about these is consistency of these as well, because when Ross was bottling these up, he said, oh, this one's quite syrupy, or this one's quite...
So texture's going to be a large element as well.
Yeah.
I'm getting a really nice earthy, woody nose. Also like a muskiness. Like, not just spices, but dried spices. Like, nice.
Yeah, toasted things.
Yeah. Like, I'm getting hints of like clove and... Yeah, there's like a subtle yeasty breadiness to it.
Toast.
I'm gonna dare say...
I can smell toast.
There's like Dutch cocoa that really...
Or sort of nuttiness.
Dry stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
I want to say walnuts, but maybe that's just me.
Well, I'm getting a nuttiness. I'm just trying to work out what it is.
Yeah.
The nuttiness is really
It's
quite
almost
complex.
like hazelnutty, but...
Yeah, hazelnut's a good bet.
Walnut, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other interesting thing is doing a tasting of coffee liqueurs. It is going to obviously be a lot about the quality of the coffee that goes in, as well as the quality of the spirit.
Well, Micah said licorice. Like quite
Yeah.
acidy.
Oh, yeah. Proper,
That's a very good point.
nice salty licorice, actually.
Ooh, scorched almonds. Oh. Yeah, beautiful.
I'm glad we're all getting some really interesting notes from
Yeah.
this.
Oh, that's delicious.
That is delicious. I think what I enjoy so much about this is they've maintained the integrity of a little bit of bitterness.
Yeah, definitely.
So I was going to disagree with Ross too. I don't think this is. It might be a bit sweeter than it was when it first started, but I think when it first started, it was perhaps too edgy. This is now. I needed to mix it when I first tasted Mr. Black, whereas I think now this is quite drinkable just as it is. It's not sweet by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
It's like a classic cold brew sort of.
But I know when it first came out, we got a bottle. It was like, oh yeah, I got to get home to make an espresso martini, la la la. And then suddenly realised making the espresso martini, it needed a bit more sugar, so I had to put some sugar syrup with it to
That
get
being,
it.
that being said, cold drip coffee is supposed to be a sweeter style coffee. So this might not actually be a matter of the sugar that's been added, but it might also just be they might have changed their coffee, or the way the coffee's made.
Yeah.
Because this is a lot softer than the bitterness of the original. Or not I wouldn't say the original, but when we first tried it.
Yes.
And they might not have quite had their coffee down pat.
I actually think it's better made than when we first tasted it.
It's definitely better balanced.
Okay, tick. So
Yeah, Liz is getting salted Dutch licorice. Beautiful.
I'm actually getting some of that salty licorice on the palate as well. Like it's got a nice.
Now, where would you guys want to be drinking this one?
with an espresso martini.
With an espresso martini.
I think this
I
is
quite like it just
by
by itself. Yeah.
mostly because it's got more caffeine in it than just a normal coffee liqueur. I think it doesn't need to have coffee added to make an espresso martini.
Well, it's
just
definitely
me.
it's got a strong enough flavour to it that you don't need it.
And it would definitely be a lot easier than having to make a cocktail.
What's the alcohol on the Mr.
Mr. Black, I think it's only like a
25.
Yeah.
25%, which is classic liqueur kind of.
Yeah, 20 to 35 is the standard for liqueurs.
Yeah,
I would
20,
dare
30,
say
yeah.
the reason it's below 30 is probably because of the sheer amount of coffee in this. Like, there's clearly a lot of bloody caffeine in there.
Therese is going well, followed with the cocoa black orange almond dark chocolate. Brings out that almond flavour.
Teresa, good to see you following along at home.
Beautiful.
We do have chocolate. I was in charge of bringing chocolate today because I thought
Yeah.
there's nothing I want more than chocolate with coffee liqueur.
Also,
So-
spoiler alert, how long have we been doing these tastings? And today we actually had
The
2
garnish.
sets of garnishes in the morning.
Yeah, we started the day. Yeah,
We
so
started the day with the garnish.
normally about 3:30 I remember that we've forgotten our garnishes and have to do a run to the supermarket. But
Yeah.
today I've got Lindt 70% dark cocoa chocolate.
Yep.
I've got dark chocolate and orange, also by Lindt.
Ooh.
And I've also got macadamia dark chocolate.
And I think Jen
Nice.
provided us with some
Cacao.
chocolate nibs.
Oh yeah, they're in the
Yes.
bag somewhere.
Anyway, we might get to them
We'll
at
get-
some point.
Yes. Beautiful.
So
Yeah,
which
Colette's saying hazelnuts.
chocolate do you think we go
Yeah.
for this, Luke?
I'm going to start with the dark. The straight old dark.
I'm going to go with the walnut.
The macadamia.
Macadamia?
This way?
Macadamia?
Straight darks at the front.
No.
Macadamia's on the side. Orange at the back. That's macadamia.
Thank you very much.
Yum.
I was going to go macadamia, but I'm going to go orange, so I'm not like everyone else.
Yeah, we were talking about garnishes. It's not necessarily a garnish so much as an accompaniment.
It's a pairing. So,
Yeah.
so instead of what would you pair this with?
What's your food
We're
pairing?
doing-
Eat chocolate and some nice nuts, maybe some dates, some figs, maybe.
Well, it does change the mouthfeel though, having it with chocolate.
Good point.
Yeah.
It's bringing out a lot of the some of the fruitiness as well.
I'm not sure if I like the mouthfeel with the chocolate though.
I like it.
There you go.
But you know, you could have predicted I would have said that.
Yeah, good. Beautiful.
Spoiler alert. Luke likes dark chocolate.
Yeah, everyone's enjoying it with the dark chocolate. That's good. Oh, Jen, lovely with cream and nutmeg.
I strongly support Jen in this endeavour.
Wow. Experimenting, we like it. Christina said, lovely with dark chocolate, not so much the cherries.
Not so much the cherries?
No.
Okay.
That's fair.
I saw when Christine had mentioned cherries, I went, oh, that's a good get. But
I would have said cherries, to be honest. I think that was a good get. But
Beautiful. Well, should we move on
we
to
are about to move on.
Patron?
Who wants to talk about Patron?
Well,
Give me a
Ross
sec,
did a
quick
little
eye.
bit of looking. I did a little bit of looking.
yeah, look, Initially, the first thing I said about Patrón was like, it was all very, very trendy a while ago. This guy, like everybody wanted it for a while. And I've always made good tequila. It's always 100% blue agave, so it's always the top-notch stuff. And they make it with their
Tequila.
100%, yeah, tequila.
Now this is interesting. So most people understand that coffee liqueurs are made with spirit and coffee. The traditions for doing so originated from both Tia Maria and Kahlua using rum, not just straight vodka. So it's interesting that we see something like Patrón come out of Mexico with tequila because Kahlua actually originated using rum from Mexico.
Oh.
So it's interesting to see that someone's actually taken one of the biggest producers of Mexico and incorporated it into something like this.
But I guess that's the thing. If you love something and you love something else, add them together. Doesn't always go, but
you know,
Patrón may be the thing.
It's also interesting though that when tequila had in terms of sales and trendy product and stuff, tequila had its day, but Patrón just seems to keep on. It's not treated like tequila.
it's very
No,
It
consistent.
has an entirely different sort of customer profile.
Yeah.
And this also has a completely different smell.
Yeah, I was very excited to try Patrón. I was the advocate for this.
There's a
Well,
lot
the
of...
only other thing about my reading about Patrón was
Again, real good coffee smell.
Yes.
the original family sold it to a couple of geezers, I suppose. I'm trying to work out how you'd call them. One of them was a racing car driver back in the late 80s, and they revamped it and remarketed it, but didn't muck around too much with it. But
Can you pass me the
a couple of
water?
years ago, they sold it to Bacardi for $5 billion. Like, whoa.
So if anyone... Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know, I didn't think they made that much bloody tequila.
Patron's been pretty ahead of the game in terms of tequila. They've had some serious advertising behind them.
Now, do we want to talk about the colour of this one?
Very dark.
Very dark. Oh, I thought that was your Patrón that you just...
No, I'm not. I'm quaffing
It's like,
water,
okay.
actually.
Game on.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah, the colour of this one's a lot darker.
This is black, positively
Yeah.
black.
And is this the one that you said was slightly more syrupy?
Yeah, a bit
okay.
stickier.
So,
You can see that when you swirl it.
Yeah.
higher density.
Yeah, it's very sticky. I got it on me now.
Yeah, it's quite sticky. This is also quite interesting to see the difference in spirit. From what I understand, this is a straight spirit.
Yep.
Like a vodka.
Mm-hmm.
And how that affects the smell of the coffee, I think is quite interesting.
Okay.
Because this is bringing out a lot of the interesting sort of mineral, fruity...
Yeah, Christina said it's like burnt sugar, like fairy floss.
Yeah,
I get
there's
that.
like-
That's good. Yeah, Jenna said quite fruity.
Black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get the fruity bit.
I'm getting
Yeah.
black treacle.
The other thing is,
It's
Oh.
not as toasty as the...
this guy's 35% alcohol, so
Yeah,
it's like it's generally liqueurs are sort of under 30%,
Yeah.
sort of 25 like this guy, but this is 35, so it's like
It's getting up there.
getting up there.
It's almost up to a spirit at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaxa said reminds me of those pink must stick lollies.
There might be
The
something...
There's a bit of
sweetness,
perfume
yeah.
of it too.
Something
yeah.
interesting to say. Ross was saying it was quite syrupy to the touch. That might be also to accompany the higher ABV.
Yeah, okay.
You
You know,
Interesting.
give it just a little bit more
But I
sweetness.
guess, yeah, maybe, yeah. I'm not sure.
Okay.
You could just smell it, really.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
smells so good, and there's like bits of floral notes in there as well.
That, yeah.
Almost
Weirdly, but
A
it
dark red rose kind of
works,
smell.
yeah.
Roses.
You know, often when we talk about roses, you get that sort of pink light rose.
No, it's
Like the
just,
classic, like,
dark.
yeah. Deep rose.
I think it's that marriage between the coffee and the tequila. I think it's somewhere else. It's great.
yeah, and well, because it comes from agave, which is a succulent, a fruit, for all intents and purposes. So that can bring quite a lot of complex flavour to the
I've got to say, I've never really tasted it. I've had it as shots, and it's gone, oh yeah.
Woo, woo.
But
I-
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm getting
see-
honey and violets as well from the nose. I haven't even tasted it yet. This is so good.
Liza says cannot hear Vivian. You might want to move a bit closer.
Well, last
We were
week
saying
I-
last week it was too
I
loud.
was really loud. I wasn't talking any more loudly.
Well,
No.
Vivian's the armchair expert hiding behind the camera.
Oh, whoa.
Should we try this one?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
palate.
It's really good. It's got a fabulous mouthfeel to it. And Eva likes it. We have a winner.
It's yeah.
We can tell.
It's like macadamias and yeah, it's so good. There's lots of really good nuttiness on that.
Wow, there's so many different elements. It's so overwhelming.
The complexity of this is insane.
It's got this one has, compared to the Mr. Black, this is really multi-dimensional. It's got a taste on the front palate, a taste at the back, a taste afterwards.
Yeah, and it
And they're all
lingers.
different.
So if people don't like tequila, I have bad news for you. It does actually bring
fabulous.
something to the table.
Yeah.
I'm getting macadamia and hazelnuts.
The musk is really coming through on the taste.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I've never been a musk person, so I don't
Oh
But like
yeah,
the musk sticks, like
musky.
when you had them when you were younger and you just no.
I would even like, dare I say it, musk banana lollies.
What?
Oh, banana.
Sorry
ones.
everyone. I'm sorry everyone.
Musk banana lollies.
I love them, and
Are you talking banana or talking musky? What?
Oh,
you know the little banana lollies that were
Yeah.
that
but
musk
those are more
sort of-
banana-y. But they
Yeah,
were the same
they were
texture.
musky.
Yeah. Christine says, inspired of the musk sticks, I tried adding a few drops of rose essence. OMG, bang on musk flavour.
Ooh. Wow, it sounds like a chocolate musk
So
cocktail.
hang on, is this going to go in a rocky road?
Oh.
Now that in a tiramisu, maybe.
Oh.
And at 35%, you might be having a pretty good dinner after that one.
Yeah.
But
Jack,
we don't start with a tiramisu. We finish with a tiramisu.
Yeah. I've got a birthday coming up, like, that's all I'm saying.
Alright,
That's
so
a
what have
job.
we got? We've got the wine and the Patron. Jack has said this is a gateway tequila.
yeah, I'd go as far to agree with you there.
Wow.
This is the aromatics on this is absolutely.
I tell you
Crazy.
what, I'm thinking about my next espresso martini. Actually, this is.
Yeah, I don't know why we're thinking. I don't
Well, we've been mucking around. This is the real deal.
This is so good.
Indeed, yeah.
Also,
if you-
Again, I'm not really sure that it needs coffee. I
Oh,
you need
not
coffee
even-
just
I
because
would
this
just-
always-
if-
Or yeah, to dull it down, like water it down.
I would say you could actually just take a couple of shots of Patron and shake it and call it a day.
Shake it.
Well, it's 35%, so it's high
Yeah.
alcohol. It's got plenty of flavour from the coffee.
Mm.
It's got enough sugar in there. Like, what are we messing around for?
Wow.
Oh.
Really get the coffee on the after palate. When you finish,
Mm.
you really get that coffee on the top.
I don't know. I'm up for the challenge. I reckon.
This is actually reminding me of, like, maybe this is just me, but when you get the chocolate on top of, like, a cappuccino. Like that
Like
little bit of...
mocha.
Yeah, like that, but it's like a bit of cocoa and like nice espresso, creamy texture.
Yeah, I get a bit of chocolate in this about too.
Yeah.
In the middle
Yeah.
palate, it's nice.
So if you're going to eat
I want
chocolate, what would you eat with this apart from putting it in a tiramisu? Which
Mm.
is absolutely going to happen quite soon.
I'd whip it with cream and eat it with a spoon.
Yeah.
Is this what we were talking about?
Yes.
Cacao nips?
Yeah,
Woohoo!
Yeah, Jackson says lazy tiramisu and just add in some mascarpone.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would happily just eat this with whipped cream
Oh,
over
this is
over ice
dangerous.
cream even. Just dip some
Affogato.
Oh.
Yeah, as an affogato over ice cream.
Yeah. Wow, I'm really happy we did that one. Wow, thanks me for encouraging this one.
Thanks, me.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. When it comes to our tasting, it is often a fight to the finish about what ends up on the table.
Yeah, it is.
Because, you know, Ross will say, I want to drink this one. And I said, but we've all had that before. And Ross goes, but it's good. And then Eva goes, I've never had that. That's a good idea. And then we all sort of have to... It usually ends up being 4.
A tasting is, you've got to taste stuff you haven't had before. That's
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah.
You want to move
But-
that coffee, the nibs out of it.
It often ends up being 4
Thanks
wines
for
or
those
4
tips.
spirits that we have to cut one out of. And that is actually the hardest job we've had to do every week.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Teresa says definitely over ice cream. That'd be a nice little
Yeah, that'd be
dessert
bomb.
sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Christine says do the rose essence,
Oh.
guys. You'll thank me later.
Oh,
So
the
we'll have to
salted
try.
caramel ice cream.
Bam.
Salted caramel ice cream.
Even a
No,
French, a
I'm-
real proper French
I'm still
vanilla.
going back to the tiramisu. I'm just.
Yeah, nothing beats a tiramisu.
Yeah.
It's
Make
just-
one for
I
my
think
birthday.
the texture of this for a tiramisu
Oh, I don't know. I
is
think
a
it
good
lobs
idea.
with some good Chardonnay beats and tiramisu. We
I don't like Chardonnay, so that's
We
nah.
we can do both,
Oh,
one
you
followed by the
will.
other.
You will.
after these tastings.
Oh, the challenge is now on.
We can
Okay.
convert anything.
All right, we've got to do a Chardonnay
Throw
tasting.
down the gauntlet now.
Well, no, but then we'll do a Sauv Blanc tasting too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited for
I'm
Sauv Blanc.
excited about that.
For anyone
Sorry.
at home who wants to do a Sauv Blanc tasting, number 1, good Sauv Blancs do exist. Number 2, they're not all sweet. And number 3, Ross hates it.
Ah.
And we sell a lot of it, so we need to know what it tastes like.
Indeed.
I do know what it tastes like.
Back on.
Back on track.
Stay on target. Stay
Yeah.
on target. This is
Red
just
leader.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, I can see why people buy this all the time.
I'm going for
Yeah.
macadamia chocolate with this.
Macadamia, yeah, I've got
Just
my
the plain
macadamia.
dark nibs were good, actually.
Mmm.
Can I have some water, please, Luke?
Yeah.
Mm.
Christine says she hates Sauv Blancs too. Well, we're gonna try some.
So there.
I always
I
hated.
really like Sauv Blanc. I like Chardonnay.
I hated Sauv Blanc until I had a really good one
Oh.
that blew my mind.
Yeah. Oh, we probably shouldn't talk about Sauv Blanc
Yeah.
on a coffee tasting, but that's fine. Beautiful. Well, I still like sipping on Patrón, but should we move on to the Hate Grim?
Mm.
Triple
Same
six.
to drive.
666 Tassie. This
That's
is the
right. The original Wattleseed and coffee vodka.
The same people that did our butter wash, fat wash autumn butter vodka, but this one isn't fat washed.
Is
This
it?
one, no.
No.
Not fat wash.
So they put, this is AeroPress coffee, and they make it at a cooler temperature. I'm not sure what that changes as much.
For anyone at home who doesn't understand what AeroPress is, it's sort of a newer style of coffee that uses
That's plunging
It's
but
like a
with air
press-
pressure.
air pressure plunger.
Yeah.
Traditional espresso uses water pressure that's really hot, and it can damage the beans
Or it can burn them. Yeah.
and burn them, which is why people moved on to cold drip.
Yeah.
But AeroPress is a lighter pressure. It's a little bit softer on the ground beans.
But I mean, also the trick that we've discovered, you should, for those of you who are not trained baristas, no, Luke is, but is that your hot water needs not to be
Boiling.
boiling. It needs to be below 90 degrees to put it on coffee, otherwise you get that burnt flavour. The other thing is that when we've been making coffee to make in espresso martinis, a friend of ours who's a barista told me just to mix the coffee the coffee grounds in a jar with cold water, shake it, put it in the fridge,
Like a cold brew.
and it's a cold brew.
Cold
And
infusion,
It's
yeah.
the bomb. And what's really
Ah.
interesting is because I'm not good with caffeine. Is that because you haven't put hot water in it, it doesn't actually extract as much caffeine. You get all the flavour without
Interesting.
much
keeping you awake.
caffeine.
Since we've discovered this, I've started making my own cold infusion coffee at home. If you do want to use it in espresso martinis and have lots of caffeine in there, what you can do is strain it out, add the same amount of ground coffee back in, which is usually 700 grams to a litre. Might be wrong. And leave it for a week. And so if you do 2 sets of caffeine in there, you obviously boost your caffeine and you boost density.
Smells of coffee.
But it's still not bitter, and it's still soft and fruity and juicy. On to the 666 vodka.
666. And this one's a 40%, so it's a vodka. This
Yeah.
one's a spirit.
In the event, we did say liqueurs.
Yes.
Sorry for the deception. This is, in fact, a vodka. And we decided to leave this last because we might not be able to get home after this.
Wow. Nicholas says, 80 degree water for AeroPress. Got one 4 years ago and gave away my espresso machine.
Cool.
So it's pretty good. Oh.
Woo! Whether or not they use 80 degree water for this,
No,
we're
these
not
ones,
sure.
yeah, these guys use a cooler temperature.
Oh,
for
okay,
this
cool.
one, yeah.
Oh,
and
whoa.
it's a St. Ali coffee as well. So they've St. Ali? St. Ali.
Should I?
St. Ali, yeah. They've teamed up with them to make it, so they're good quality coffee.
Oh, whoa.
Have we talked about the colour of this one? Because it's significantly
Slightly
different.
paler. Well, I think that's the vodka, not the.
Yeah, the fact that it's a vodka probably helps.
But I feel like this one's more orangey than any of the other ones, especially
Yeah.
with
In
the
colour.
smaller bottles.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, whoa.
What are you worrying about there, Luke? What are you smelling?
What I'm really interested is the smell of all of these different coffee liqueurs and vodkas are. The smells are very different.
They are very different. You
Very.
get all different.
I think we're getting smells of completely different coffee.
Yeah.
But
also this one you can actually get the smell of the spirit, which I couldn't with the others.
yeah, which I'm enjoying with the coffee.
I'm
And this-
surprised. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, you're
Well, I'm
surprised.
surprised. Usually with vodka, I find it very intense smell. Like when I smell vodka, I can smell it, and I'm not
The ethanol
crazy
hit,
about it.
yeah.
With this, I can't.
Oh, I can.
That's
I
where
can,
it's-
I can still smell the alcohol, but it doesn't smell like raw vodka.
No.
You're right. I agree.
I'm getting a lot of like really nice, expensive vanilla.
Yeah.
So there's no fat wash in this, Luke.
No,
No.
Furniture polish.
well, it's not butter flavored, so there's no fat.
There's no
So is
butter.
it chill filtered in any way? Or not?
Yes.
Not that I know of.
It's a good
I
question.
do not believe it to be chill filtered.
No.
And if I know anything about these guys, I doubt it would be.
Yeah, I
But it's nice and clear and it's not
We
going
said
into...
sediment in bottle is normal, so
Yeah.
I presume that's
Non-chill filtered.
yeah.
mahogany sort of
There's a nice woodiness to it.
and caramel. This one's got the
Caramel,
more you swirl it, the more I'm getting that sort of really
butterscotch.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
the one.
Christina said quite biscuity.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
smell that.
Maybe that's what
So
I'm
like
getting.
Shortbread.
Ooh. Christine's going all out. This is lovely with a few drops of orange bitters. Just a touch. You're ahead of us.
Yeah,
Oh.
whoa. I'm still smelling it. I haven't even got to tasting it
No,
yet.
not yet.
Oh, I've gone on to drinking it.
It's called a tasting, not a drinking.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay, yeah, that's right. At 8:30 we have another live guzzling session.
When we've got on it.
Oh, there's something else going on here that I can't quite identify. There are like notes.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Notes of honey.
Maybe it's Wattleseed. Ah!
Imagine that.
There's actually some really interesting sort of fruity esters that are similar to rums, like those sort of funky banana, pineapple sort of flavors in the nose.
Yeah. And you get a bit of that funky sort of rum flavour afterwards.
Mm.
The aftertaste has got that going.
And when I say esters are complex fruit flavors that come from wild fermentation. So you get it a lot in rums.
Not girls called Esther.
No. It's just a term about alcohol fermentation. So I would suggest that to make their spirit that they do a wild fermentation and then distill it to a 40%. Just an opinion.
Just saying.
Just saying.
This
Yeah.
one's very different. It doesn't taste like it smells because I feel like the smell it's not as intense as the others, but then the coffee is even subtler when you taste it.
Yeah, whoa. Sorry.
Again, like we did last time, I didn't think I liked vodka, but this is an entirely different thing.
The coffee is really subtle.
Walnut.
Walnuts.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting
shells.
walnut.
I'm getting that walnut.
Yeah.
I'm getting that
Like black
woodiness.
walnut sort of.
Yeah,
Woody.
that's what I was trying to think of. Sorry, I just blurted it. Yep.
Yeah, no, could blurt away. I'm also getting like bits of chocolate, cocoa, and so forth.
I was going to be some chocolate, but that was off the plate.
Nah, that's fair.
Apparently.
Oh.
Oh, look, Jeffrey Williams doing.
Hey,
Jeffrey.
Oh
Ah,
man.
Up in the far north.
Yeah, I agree with Jax. He's saying it's a least favourite. I think the coffee is too subtle for me. I'd agree. I guess with the coffee, I'd wanted the coffee. I suppose.
I wonder if maybe we should have done this more softer, gentler thing first.
Yeah, possibly. If we've had the
Because we left this to last because of the alcohol content. We thought the alcohol content would.
Yeah, 'cause
I would probably have tasted this one and then the Mr. Black. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the Patron.
All right.
So everyone cleanse your palate and do them all again.
So you know you've got those little bottles at home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you haven't sculled them all by
If you
now,
haven't sculled them all by now, cleanse your palate and start again. Do
drink
the
your way up
order.
the line, drink your way down the line. See how you go.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
It doesn't ruin the others, but I would like to finish on the Patron, I think.
Yeah.
The palate definitely has like a burnt caramel,
Yeah.
sort of like.
Oh, are we going to put orange with this one? Is this what you wanted to try orange with?
I
think so.
I just
Let's
thought
go crazy.
This might cheer it up.
this might ruin everything. So I'm taking no responsibility. Because last week I
Plot
said
twist.
I wanted
Luke
orange
takes
with
no
something,
responsibility.
and people said that they didn't like it.
Well, yeah, Teresa says, wow, this
Which is
one's
the
not so
orange
coffee,
chocolate.
but yeah, killer alcohol. Jackson says, I'll try it in the other order tomorrow. Yeah, good idea.
Tomorrow? She's having a day off.
Yeah, look, I have a really weird palate. I like some pretty weird things. If you don't like orange with your bits and bobs, then don't have orange. Oh, ooh, I do like the smell of the coffee vodka with the orange, though.
I'm trying to squeeze my orange in.
That's really good.
There we go.
No, I like that.
Clap the orange.
The smell of this is
Not this time.
I like that.
exquisite.
I think that's exactly what it needed.
Oh, no.
Sorry everyone. Sorry everyone, our phone's ringing. It's quite embarrassing.
Somebody wants some orders.
As much as we can, like, close the door and lock the door, we can't really turn off the phone system. So,
Not quite.
there's not much we can do about that.
No.
Unless we, you know.
Just in the middle of it. We're in the middle of life.
Beautiful. Well, yeah, Liz says orange is good. She snuck some in. Oh, okay. Nicola said 99% chocolate improves the mouthfeel and the sweetness a bit. Interesting.
Oh, yeah, I really like that on the palate.
Oh, sweetens. No, that's true. I was thinking, it's not too sweet.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yum.
Ooh.
So-
Teresa says, speaking of weird, Patrón and 666 together is working. Whoops.
Teresa, I like your style. If you like two things, put them together.
Yeah, well, that's what they did with Patrón. Coffee, tequila, love them both. Wham,
Let's
bam.
go.
What could
Yeah.
possibly go wrong?
Exactly.
Indeed. Anyway,
I like it with the orange.
this
I
is
think
good with
definitely a
orange.
mixer.
That being said, we often do coffee liqueurs, and people only talk about espresso martinis.
Yeah.
But the 666 could be really
Well,
good with orange, like an
get-
orangey cocktail.
Jax has said, if you like coffee orange, have you tried a coffee Negroni?
I have.
Oh,
This
see,
is-
that could be...
Yeah, alright. You're onto something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
I think we're getting close to time, guys.
And Christine has also said, if anyone has any 666 butter vodka left from the previous tasting, give it a go with a coffee vodka. This combo with a dark chocolate rather than coffee.
Oh, coffee
Or
with
rather
butter.
like coffee cake.
Yum.
Ooh.
I'm really excited to also eat.
Interesting. Beautiful.
Coffee Negroni, I'm running with that. Actually, I had a coffee Negroni once. I'm trying to think
Oh.
where it was.
That's the best thing.
Oh, eating the slice
Eating
of orange.
the vodka coffee orange. Yum.
Beautiful.
Alright.
Well, do we have any last final words? Do we have a favourite? I'm going to say Patrón straight off the bat.
Yeah, I'm off
Straight off the
Patron.
bat, Patron. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, everyone.
Mind
What's
blown.
really interesting is that the small batch has actually lost this game.
Yeah.
The larger producer has actually got it right for once in their life. So,
Maybe that's why they paid.
Yeah.
not saying that
But
these are bad. These are bloody good
Because
products.
of the way that we're drinking it, I suppose.
Is
On
this,
ice,
is this why Bacardi
Patrón.
bought them for $5 billion?
Five
This is
billion
why they
dollars,
were
yeah.
$5 billion.
There we go,
Probably.
$5 billion product right there.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Next week.
Next
do you
week-
want to talk about that? Next week. We're trying
Sangiovese.
Have we
which
got
are
the product?
behind you.
Hang on.
Oh,
Slight calming down us. Aren't we moving to 6 o'clock next week?
yes, we are.
Sangiovese at 6 o'clock.
Sanj at 6, everybody.
Sanj at 6. Yeah, so these are the ones that we're going to be trying.
So we've got the Pasqua Sangiovese from Puglia. We've got the Chianti which is the Tuscan Chianti from Cecchi.
Cecchi.
And we've also got
The Pizzini Nonna Giselle.
Nonna Gisella,
King
which
Valley.
is Australian King Valley. So
Yeah.
we've got some different regions, Australian, Italian sort of mix, different price points. Very excited for
Yeah.
this.
We've got the same half-size wine packs that you can get them.
Yeah.
Just text the number, same as usual. And yeah,
What's after Sangiovese?
after Sangiovese, we are going to be doing
Rum.
Rum,
rum.
which we'll talk about next week.
And
Yeah.
after rum, we're going to be doing gin. Yay!
Hey! As you can tell, Ross loves this gin, but we'll get it back into that. We are
So
doing Sanj next week.
So 6
6
o'clock.
p.m.
It's now going to be 6 o'clock from now on, boys and girls.
Sangiovese at 6.
Sanj at 6.
Sanj at 6.
Woohoo!
The main reason for us moving it is if you have heard our roller door opening and closing during our tastings is because our closing time is usually 6 o'clock and we have been closing early for tastings, which is a little bit cheeky.
And our customers are now coming back.
As people have come back into the city, we're, lo and behold, going to be sticking to normal trading times. So we'll be here at 6 o'clock next week, drinking some red wine. Feel free to share the event on Facebook, take photos of all your tasting stock, post them, tag us, get involved.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being involved.
Yeah, beautiful.
Love you all. Use your hand sanitizer. See you next week.
Bye.
Woo!